What's growing on, gardeners? It's the first week of January, and it is citrus season here on the southeastern coast of North Carolina. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Citrus season in North Carolina? You better believe it. Citrus trees will grow hundreds of miles north of my location. So many people can grow citrus and they don't even know it. That's why on today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 incredible varieties of citrus that you can grow in places with freezing cold winters.
If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out my Amazon store and Spreadshop links in the video description for everything I use in my garden and awesome custom apparel and gear.
It often surprises people when I tell them that I'm growing 9 varieties of citrus in ground in North Carolina. And I think that's because there is this perception that citrus are tropical trees, but they are not. Most of the citrus that we are familiar with come from the subtropical highlands of Asia, and although there are some tender varieties of citrus out there, many of them are widely adapted to tolerate frost and freeze. In fact, if you grow citrus in the tropics, they usually don't ripen properly on the outside. They stay green. It's actually the cold weather in the winters that cause the peels to change to the colors that we are familiar with. That's right, most citrus trees actually prefer a good and chilly winter. The real question is, what are the best cold-tolerant varieties to grow in locations that see a lot of frosts and freezes in wintertime? There's just so much information out there. And the truth of the matter is, there are a lot of bred citrus varieties and hybrids out there that are very cold-tolerant, but the fruit is so seedy, or they're intermingled so much with trifoliate orange that they taste so bad you wouldn't want to eat it. So searching for the really good quality cold-hardy citrus, that is the real challenge. And on today's video, I'm going to show you 4 different varieties that not only perform incredibly well in places that get 30 to 40 freezes a year like I do here in North Carolina, but they have astoundingly good quality fruits. As a point of reference, I live on the southeastern coast of North Carolina, Zone 8B. All of the citrus varieties listed in this video should grow to roughly the Zone 8A/Zone 7B line. So as long as you live on that line or further to the warm area, you should be able to grow all of these citrus varieties in ground, provided you're willing to protect them a handful of nights a year. And that's roughly half the landmass of the United States, and as well as half the population. So there is a really good chance that you can grow citrus if you're watching this video. Now, that being said, you will have to protect these citrus trees a handful of nights every single year. I do. It's very, very simple. I'll make sure to link to a video both above and down in the video description that will show you exactly how I do that. It's a piece of cake. Your citrus trees will tolerate more and more cold as they become mature. When they are very young, you definitely want to protect them anytime it's going to freeze at night. Then once they become pretty established, you usually want to protect them if temperatures are going to be, say, 26 degrees or colder. Cold-hardy citrus tree number 1 is the Owari Satsuma. The Owari Satsuma is the crown jewel of my garden. It has been in ground for 6 years, and it has been one of the most fruitful and incredible trees I have ever grown. Your Satsumas are true oranges. They are mandarin oranges, and they are absolutely incredible in terms of their cold hardiness. This is a very old variety of citrus. It's been around for a very long time. When they are fully mature, they can take temperatures briefly down to the 12 to 15 degree range, which is absolutely astounding. Keep in mind your fruit is probably going to get damaged somewhere around 24 or 25 degrees if it stays around that temperature for a long period of time, but the tree itself is much hardier than the fruit. Just look at the yields on this thing. It's an absolute freak of nature. It produces literally hundreds of pounds of fruit, and the amazing thing is, because this is grafted onto trifoliate rootstock, this is as tall as the tree will ever get. This is one of my secrets to growing citrus. More on that later. The thing I love about Satsumas is that they are zipper skin and they are mostly seedless. Now mine get seeds these days sometimes because I'm growing so many citrus varieties that they tend to cross-pollinate, which will make them seedier. But what's awesome about them is there's something called zipper skinned. You stick your finger in and it literally, when they are ripe, the skin just pops right off. And this thing is so ripe, the fruit is starting to pull apart in terms of the segments. You'll see it's a segmented orange, and looks like this one right here is going to be completely seedless. I kid you not when I say I don't buy citrus in the grocery stores, at least sweet citrus, because I don't think they taste good, but a homegrown orange is an otherworldly experience. Oh, these are so unbelievably good. Homegrown citrus is as different from store-bought citrus as a homegrown tomato is to a store-bought tomato. It's just not even close. You could eat these all day like candy. One of the great things about satsumas is they are very early. Your Owari satsuma will start ripening for you probably around Thanksgiving, and you'll slowly pick the ripe fruits as they appear between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now that it is the first week of January, all of my satsumas are basically ready for harvest. A lot of your sweet oranges aren't ready until January or February, so if you have a shorter growing season or your winters run out of heat pretty quickly, this makes the satsuma really easy to grow. Satsumas are some of the most cold-hardy citrus varieties out there, but the last thing I want to do is just rattle off a big list of satsumas. After all, why would you want the same types of oranges growing in your yard if you could grow a diversity of things? That's where citrus tree number 2 comes in. That is the Meyer lemon. Your Meyer lemons are one of the most cold-hardy lemons, and that's because they are actually a hybrid. They are a natural cross between a lemon and a satsuma. So although they look like a lemon and they taste like a lemon, because they have some satsuma in their lineage, they are unusually cold-hardy. Many of your true lemons are quite sensitive to frost and freeze, so if you want to grow a true lemon in ground, you're probably going to have to be at least in zone 9A, 9B, or warmer. That's where the Meyer lemon breaks the mold. These can tolerate temperatures down to about 17 or 18 degrees once they are fully established. This is a very cold-hardy tree. It's never taken damage with a cover on it, no matter how cold we've gotten in here in North Carolina, and I've seen as cold as 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the great news about this is the Meyer lemon has no compromises versus a true lemon. They taste exactly like a lemon, except they have 2 to 3 times the amount of juice, and they are a little bit less acidic. And they have some of the most insane production that you have ever seen. Look at this. This tree is a freak show. It's 4 or 5 years old, and it produces hundreds of lemons every single season, and every single year it is just putting on more and more lemons. This is actually a rooted cutting. It is not a grafted tree. I have this growing as a bush because it is easier to protect like this, and I cut it down to about 5 feet every single year, and it still produces hundreds of lemons for me. It's absolutely insane. I just have to show you how incredible the fruit of the Meyer lemon is. Let me take one of the smaller ones from the bottom because they are a little bit more ripe. Just look how beautiful that lemon is right there. And now here's one of the best parts. I'm going to cut into it, and these things are like a juice waterfall. They are so much juicier than a true lemon. You can just see all that juice just dripping out of there. And then here is the big reveal. They do have some seeds in them, but that's not a big deal because they produce an absurd amount of juice. And what is cool about this lemon is it's just not as high in acid. So whereas a regular lemon will really make you pucker up really badly, this isn't bad at all. It tastes just like a lemon, but if you really wanted to, you could slice off a wedge and eat it. It's a little bit much, but it still isn't bad. Cold hardy citrus number 3 is probably the most underrepresented citrus out there, and that is the kumquat. Many Americans have never even tried a kumquat because they're virtually impossible to find in usual, typical American grocery stores. You usually have to go to Asian markets to find these, and you'll probably only find them there when they are in season. Now, what is very interesting about the kumquat is you eat the whole thing. You just pop the whole fruit into your mouth, skin and all. The skin is actually much sweeter than the flesh of the kumquat itself. And when these are established, these can be hardy down to about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, there are basically 2 core types of kumquats. There is the Nagami kumquat, which is a sour interior with a sweet skin, and there is the Meiwa kumquat, which is a sweet interior with a sweet skin. This is the sweet kumquat, this is the meiwa. They are developing new varieties of kumquats all the time to get bigger ones and have variances in the amount of sour and sweet, but I don't know if they are as cold hardy as the core varieties. Your sour nagamis and sweet meiwas are the two gold standards for kumquats, and this is the meiwa right here. One thing you will notice is how small the kumquat is. They are extremely dwarfing. Whether you get them as a rooted cutting or you get them as a grafted tree, they are always going to be smaller than their larger orange counterparts. All three of these trees were planted at the same time. They're going on their 4th year. We have a Caracara red navel orange on the left. We have a brown select satsuma on the right. They are dramatically outpacing the kumquat, and that is to be expected. But I think that the kumquat's going to grow a lot this year. I think it is finally happy with the amount of roots that it put on. Now, this kumquat right here, the fruits are still pretty small and they are not fully ripe. But because this is a sweet kumquat, I am able to give you a little taste test. So that right there is what the kumquat looks like when it is underripe and underdeveloped. This would probably get to be about twice the size if I let it fully develop, and it would get a lot sweeter, but because this is the sweet variety, you can still eat them partially green and underdeveloped. Oh, they're incredible. They're almost like a gumball. They are so sweet and candy-like. Highly recommend this variety, and the only way you're really going to get it is if you grow it yourself. One of the things that I intended to do with this video was give you a wide variety of citrus that you could grow. I just didn't want to rattle off a bunch of different oranges and you have a bunch of citrus trees that give you very similar fruit. I gave you a sweet orange in the form of the Owari Satsuma, a lemon in the form of the Meyer lemon, and now you have that awesome kumquat, so you have some diversity. But one thing I've been struggling to find is a cold hardy lime. Most limes are very tropical and frost sensitive, so they're hard to grow where I live in Zone 8 in North Carolina. I've tried experimenting with some hybrids, like for years I grew the Excalibur red lime, which was a really cool fruit, but it was more like a giant sour kumquat. It didn't really taste like a lime. This year, I think I finally struck pay dirt with something that is going to be a great lime substitute. Most people won't even know the difference. This year, I planted something called a Eustace limequat, and as the name suggests, it is a hybrid between a lime and a kumquat. So it has a fruit like a lime with much of the cold hardiness of a kumquat. And since it's a hybrid, it's not as cold hardy as its parent kumquat, but this is supposed to be cold tolerant to somewhere around the 20-degree range when it's mature. Now, I just planted this a couple of months ago, so it is far from established. It's just a little baby, and we had 2 back-to-back nights at 19 degrees just a couple weeks ago, and only using the warmth of this 60-gallon barrel full of water and this frost cloth right here, the tree took absolutely no damage. So if it can handle the teens with this, giving it a little bit of warmth right now, when it's just a little guy like this, obviously when it gets larger and more established, it's going to tolerate even more cold temperatures. Now, in my research, it appears that this is one of the closest substitutes to a lime that you can get without growing a true lime. The fruit is yellowish green, just like a lime, probably undetectable to the untrained eye. It is a little bit more seeded than a lime would be, but since we're using this for juice, it doesn't really matter if it contains seeds. So if you are looking for a cold hardy lime, I think you can probably grow this and not even know the difference. So I just wanted to throw this in there if you are looking for a lime substitute to grow in ground in Zone 8 or an otherwise borderline zone. This is a really good thing to try, and probably in about 2 years it will have fruit on it. So I'm really looking forward to that day. And that right there are 4 incredible varieties of citrus that are super cold hardy and will give you a wide diversity of citrus in your yard. You'll have the sweet oranges, the lemons, the limes, and the kumquats. Awesome, awesome stuff. But that being said, I don't want to mislead you on the cold hardiness of these trees. If you live in Zone 8 like I do, there are going to be nights where you have to cover these because those hardiness numbers that I gave you, a lot of these are around 15-degree cold tolerance when they're mature. Well, they're not going to be cold hardy like that when they're young. The fruits themselves are only going to be cold hardy into the mid-20s, so you will need to protect them when they're loaded up with fruit, since the fruit is actually more sensitive than the trees themselves. And those are more like the kill temperatures of the trees, not the damage temperatures. So a lot of these trees will take damage, especially on the very young foliage when it starts dropping into the low 20s. So it's a really good idea to cover these to get them through the first couple of years anytime it's going to frost or freeze when they're young. And then after about 3 to 4 years old, if you think it's going to be, say, 25, 26 degrees or colder, it's always better to cover them. So for that, I want to give you a few citrus growing tips. Number one, for cold protection, I'm going to link to a video both above and down in the video description that will show you how I protect my citrus trees when it's going to be a really cold night. Really easy to do. You just use incandescent Christmas lights and water barrels, and then you can leave plant jackets on them or other breathable agricultural fabric row covers. They can stay on for weeks at a time because they let in the light, they let in the rain, and they breathe. You don't have to worry about them as long as you have a heat source underneath. Then the other things that I recommend is get all of your citrus trees grafted onto trifoliate hybrid rootstock. A lot of times it's sold as flying dragon, or it'll just say trifoliate rootstock. That's because trifoliate rootstock will dwarf your trees. This tree is only about 5 feet tall. This is as tall as it's ever going to get. I prune this annually and maintain this shape and size all year round. So it makes it really easy to protect from the cold. So being sure to get your tree grafted onto a dwarfing rootstock is going to be key. It's going to make it a lot easier to maintain and protect. One of the other benefits of the dwarfing rootstock is you can plant it near the south-facing wall of your house, or another wall of your house that will collect solar energy throughout the day and radiate that energy back during the night. So I'm able to get about a 3 to 5 degree advantage every single night by being able to plant these dwarf trees in close proximity to my home. The last question I usually get is, where do I buy citrus from? Well, I purchase all of my cold hardy grafted citrus from Stan McKenzie at McKenzie Farms in Scranton, South Carolina. If you don't live in a citrus quarantine state, I strongly recommend you either take a drive to go visit him, or you give him a call and you order the citrus over the phone and he will ship them to you. Like I said, all of my grafted citrus are from him. This Owari Satsuma is from him. The Kumquat is from him. My blood orange, my Cara, they're all from him. So I highly recommend Stan. He is a great guy. If you're looking for a source of cold hardy citrus, he is probably the biggest collector of cold hardy citrus in the United States. If you need it, chances are he probably has it. And that right there are 4 incredible cold hardy varieties of citrus that you can grow in places with very cold winters that you may never have thought possible to grow citrus before. And this will give you a wide diversity of what you can harvest every single year. I can't begin to tell you how satisfying it has been to grow citrus. Everybody told me I couldn't do it, and it's actually been a piece of cake here in North Carolina. And I know these will grow hundreds of miles north of me as well. I know plenty of people that are growing citrus successfully in Virginia. I even know of a handful of people in Maryland and Oklahoma. This stuff is more cold hardy than you think, especially if you are willing to protect it on the coldest nights of the year. So everybody, I sure hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and please ring that notification bell so you're notified when I release more videos like these. If you're curious about anything that I use in my garden in real life to care for the citrus trees, or that I use in my garden in general, I will place direct links to the specific items that I use for the citrus down in the video description. And for everything I use in real life, check out my Amazon storefront link. So expand the video description, click on the Amazon storefront link, you'll see everything I use in real life. And while you're down there, please check out my spread shop for custom merch if you want to support the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see all of you again on the next video. Okay, Dale, today is Mommy's birthday, and we're gonna sing for her. We have a nice leftover Italian cookie. So, let's sing Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mommy. Happy birthday to you.
That was a very good happy birthday, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you.